Om Shanti, guys. Om Shanti. So let's begin our session today. Welcome to your yoga philosophy and pranayam class. So wherever you are, sit comfortably. Keep your back and neck straight. And when you feel ready, very gently close your eyes. Just start observing your breath. Watch the natural flow of your breathing as you inhale and as you exhale. Just observe the pure breath. Now slowly shift your attention to your body. Become aware of your posture and align your body so that you are correctly placed in your posture. And now gently come back to your breathing. Begin to deepen the breath. We're going to open today's session by chanting Om 3 times, followed by 3 Shantis. So take a deep inhalation for Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Feel the vibrations. Join your palms together and now begin to rub your palms. Place your palms on your eyes. Very slowly, while blinking and looking at the palms, open up the eyes, coming back to the smile. Om Shanti. Let us begin our session for today. So, welcome to your last session for this month of both yoga philosophy as well as pranayama. So before I begin this session, I want to announce this thing that we are going to be posting assignments on the WhatsApp group for all of you guys. I want you to also understand this thing that these assignments are for your concept revision, right? These are not your final exams, okay? So the assignments that we give in Zoom classes, they are not your final theory exam. Final theory exams are separate from these assignments. Also, the practical exams that your practical teachers are taking on the Zoom classes, those are also not your final practicals. Those are your like a mock test kind of, so that once you have completed the classes with us, right, so you are able to just give a revision if you feel that some posture is or you want to just practice your teaching ability, then those exams are for that, and even posture correction, everything. So the Zoom exams, the assessments plus the practical exam, they are not final exams, okay, for certification. These exams are only provided by us so that it's like a revision for you, okay. So for final exams, again, you have to reach out to us on the required email ID, and then we will provide you with the theory and practical details of the theory and practical exams. These are merely for you to upgrade your already existing skills, okay, right. So now coming back to our topic. So last philosophy class, we were talking about Ashtanga Yoga, 8 limbs of yoga, and we had covered the yamas. Yamas being ahimsa, aste, brahmacharya, satya, and aparigraha, right? So your all the 5 virtues, how you have to interact with the society, that was clarified by the yamas. Okay, now let's come to the niyamas. So niyamas are how I have to conduct my own self, right? So I have a relation with my own self also, right? And what is the correct way of, or what is the correct attitude of even interacting with myself, that is like made clear by the niyamas. Okay, so niyamas are quite personal in nature. Okay, so let's come to the first one, Shauch. Saucha. Shauch. Shauch, you can write down in brackets cleanliness. Right? So again, in Patanjali, he's elaborated on cleanliness. He's not merely talking about the physical cleanliness. Yes, you can do shat karma to clean the body, right? You can do asana practice to cleanse the body. Every day you take a bath, you change your clothes, you cut your nails every once in a while, you get your hair trimmed, clean your ears, right? Clean your eyes, clean your teeth, like this. So what is this? This is maintaining the cleanliness, right? So when I love my body, when I want to take care of it, the most respectable and loving way of existing with my body is to keep it clean, right? Sometimes you are not feeling that good in your day and you go and take a bath, right? You feel much better after taking that bath. So what is happening? This cleanliness is impacting you on other levels as well. If my nails are growing long and long and long and I'm not taking care of them, right, I'm not cutting them timely, then naturally a lot of dust is and dirt is going to accumulate, right. So in that same way, it is respecting your body when you take care of these tiny tasks of the body. You clean the body regularly, right? So you can take this in any way, right? Be it through yogic practices or other daily habits that you develop. You can keep the body clean, and it's a very loving way to interact with your own body, right? So then cleansing of speech, right? So uh, I can choose to say anything, right? Any rubbish I want to say, I can say that, right? Because nobody is having control over me and I'm an adult, right? So it's totally up to me, right? So many times we just talk of negative things, we go into negative talking, we go into like, gossiping, right? We go into sometimes to extremes where we abuse, right? So what am I doing? I'm having impurity of speech, right? So cleansing the speech is also my responsibility because nobody is imposing the impure speech on me. I myself am choosing to participate in it. So I myself can choose to even opt out of it, right? So you will always see the yogis never speak more than is required, right? They never talk rubbish. They will talk to the point, and most of the times they will be silent, right? So cleanliness on speech level is also very important, because whatever I speak of, that when I say something, I'm basically making sure that that thing is somewhere or the other impacting my environment. Now I can talk of 10 different things, or I can chant a mantra. So the difference, right? If I talk of 10 things, different kind of feeling I will have. If I chant a mantra, different kind of feeling I will have, right? So again, speech cleansing is also very important. And then mental cleansing, right? Clean the mind, right? The person who understands the entire logic of how this works, they will know that first thing is the impurity starts on the mental level, and then it comes up on the speech, then it comes up on the action level, right? So mind, constantly working on cleaning your mind. You chose to attend this class whenever you're sitting and watching it, right? You could have done any other thing, and whatever you would have done, read, or whatever information you would have acquired, right, would create some thought. So of course, whatever I will acquire, whatever my senses will acquire, right, those thoughts, those kinds of thoughts I will have, right? That is why so many times our parents they ask us to not have certain friends in our lives, right? Why? Because they know the kind of environment that will build up. So thoughts also start going in that direction only. So thoughts, they need proper cleansing. If the mind is not clean, again there is no way in which you will be able to clean the speech and the body as well, right? Because yes, you might be able to do the cleansing, but that cleansing will be on a surface level. Like every day from the surface I'm cleaning, but below, the dirt is still there, right? So when you do the mental cleansing, then from below the dirt, deep from the deep root, the dirt is coming out, right? So mental cleansing is also very important. If you get like a bad thought, that can convert into bad speech and bad actions, right? But over here, if I clean my mind, right, I will be very concentrated, I will be quite one pointed, focused, right? Then mind, body going to get aligned, right? Okay. Then Santosh, let's come to Santosh. Santosh means contentment, yeah, satisfaction. Santosh, 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 right? So when we talk of Santosh, we are talking about contentment, right? So it's very likely that if today you are happy, you will be happy tomorrow as well, right? Or when you attain all of your goals, targets, aims, right? But if you are unhappy today, if you are having that kind of complaining mind today, that because you don't have something, you are unhappy, the chances of you complaining when you get that thing is also very high, right? Because you have never trained the mind to appreciate what is there. You've always given the mind the training that whatever I don't have, right, I'm always crying for that thing. So tomorrow you will achieve the goal which has been on your list, and then still you will not have everything, right? So you will start crying about the things you don't have, right? In that stage also, when you acquire the most important goal of your life, at that time also you will be crying, complaining about what you don't have. Why? Because you never worked on your mind. You worked in the physical world, trying to change all of your actions, trying to achieve that goal or target, right? But you never worked on the mind, and the mind was always complaining. Right now also it is complaining, and tomorrow also it will be complaining, right? So santosh is a very important attitude to develop, right? And it's not all our fault, right? Because so many times, all the advertisements, everything that you're surrounded by, right? What are these things doing? They're making you feel as if you are less without them, right? That is how, companies are pushing sales, right, of things, by making you feel as if you own that thing, you will be the happiest person, right? So it's not all our fault. It's just the system, the way in which it's going around us. It's also having its subconscious impact on us, right? So when you come to develop the virtue of contentment, you are happy with what is, right? So sooner or later, if you keep working towards your goal, you're going to reach them. But if you develop a happy attitude today, when you reach the goals, you will also be happy, right? If you're complaining today, then most likely when you reach the goal, most likely, guys, you will be complaining because there is always something you cannot have. You cannot have everything, right? You suppose you are able to have everything, right? You get everything you want, the best version of the car, the bike, right? Who will you share it with, right? What is that thing which drives you? It's not the thing that is driving you towards that goal. It's something else within you that's driving you, right? So you need to understand this thing and you need to build satisfaction every day within. And it just comes with practice. Start practicing gratitude more. Be grateful for 5 things, 3 things every day. As you close your day, be grateful for those things, for the existence of those things, right? It will really help you to, it will turn the quality of your life upside down without making any change to your life. It will change the quality of your life, right? Let's come to the third one, which is tapas. TAPAS, tapas. Right? Tapas means austerity. Austerity is nothing but, you know, uh, going deeply and intensely into your practice. So intensely that tapas, this word literally means heat. Right? So when you're practicing asana, maybe you are practicing so much heat is generated, right? You practice so much every day that heat is generated in your body, right? So tapas means this process through which you generate heat, right? And tapas is like, sounds very extreme, but you can start with little bit in tapas also. So the main target of tapas is to develop the willpower, right? So when the yogi goes in austerity, right, they develop some willpower, right? Just a second. Okay. Yeah. So when the yogi is going into practice, they are developing, the practice, they are going beyond their comfort zone. Right? So you guys also, you can begin by going beyond the comfort zone. If not for such a long period of time, because slowly the capability of body develops. You can start with little bit, but move out of your comfort zone. When you do this thing, you develop willpower. Right? Next time when you will show up, you will be able to do more. Right? So austerity. It's very important to develop an attitude of austerity. It shows you how disciplined you are, how serious you are about your practice. At the end of the day, it's about being, committed to your practice every day, showing up for your practice, right? Then coming to the fourth niyama, which is our swadhyay, SVADHAYA. Swadhyay. Right? So swadhyay means self-introspection, self-study. So beginner level, swadhyay is what? You read the books which are talking about the universal truths, the realities, the ultimate truths or realities, right? You read them, and when you read such books, you will see by default it's their nature that you reflect back upon your own self, how you have made decisions, how you have led your life, right? So it starts at a very surface level by reading a book, maybe, or just reading a few pages, right? But it's so introspective in nature. The books that are talking about ultimate reality, they are so reflective in nature that you do end up reflecting upon how you are conducting yourself. What is the main motivation or basis for you to take your decisions? right? And you start, understanding yourself better as a result, right? When I get to know about why I'm taking a particular decision or why I acted in a certain way in a situation, I get to know more about myself. I get to know how I'm going to act when there's going to be, a difficult situation. So many people, they just run away. When time gets hard, they just go away, right? They just, just completely gone, right? So lack of understanding is showing up over there. If you understand, this is my reaction, you come to more acknowledgement, right, of that reaction. Why is this coming? Why do I have the tendency to run away? Maybe, right? If this is happening, this is my reality. First, I need to see how I'm acting, right? Then I start analyzing why I'm doing it. Then I come to the cause, and then if this kind of behavior it's good for me, it's suitable for me, I will continue with it, right? So if running or escaping is the best way for me to navigate through my life, I will continue to do it. But if it's coming out of just because somebody else around me acted in that way, so I picked that up. So it's not serving me, right? It was just a one-time situation or one-time thing, right? Where that happened, and I absorbed it so completely that that became my natural reaction. So if it's not helping me, it's keeping the people around me and even me dissatisfied, right? I will want to discard that. But how do I come to this understanding when I actually stop and reflect? Right. So Swadhyaya is also another way of mental cleansing. So we were talking about Shoch in the beginning, right? So Shoch cleansing on a mental level takes place through Swadhyaya. And on a physical level, the cleansing takes place through tapas, right? When you go into extreme, not extreme, I would say, but deep practice, right? Coming to the last point, Ishwar Pranidhan, right? Surrender to God. ISHWAR, Ishwar Pranidhan. PRANIDHAN, Ishwar Pranidhan, right? So when I surrender myself to God, now God can mean different things for different people. Some people might think nature is God, some people might have certain gods in their own religions, traditions. Some people might think they are God themselves, that they are a part of God only, right? So it's totally up to you. For a beginner, whatever they believe in, they can choose to surrender themselves to that thing, towards that thing. Okay? So it could be nature, it could be your own pure self, it could be some God that you really admire and adore, right? It's totally up to you. But you have to surrender. So focusing more on the and putting more emphasis on surrender, right? When you surrender to someone, right, or something, you just let that thing happen, no? And you accept however it is happening. You don't question it. Logical mind goes away, right? Ego goes away. Ego is given a lot of sideline when you go into the act of surrender, because if it were up to your ego, you will never surrender, right? That is why so many people struggle with surrendering. They don't want to go in bhakti yoga. It's the easiest way. Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita said that he prefers people who are in bhakti yoga. He values the bhakti, but we are unable to do it. All the time we have some or the other question, right? So if you are capable, right? If you have the ability, surrender, right? It's freeing. People think it's binding, but it's freeing actually in its approach. I am leaving all my burden behind and surrendering, trusting that it will be taken care of, whatever it is, right? So start surrendering. The more you surrender, the lesser your ego, flourishes, right? Because it's so hard to surrender, right? So these are your 5 niyamas. I will take 2 more moments to cover philosophy. Mostly we are covering philosophy only today. We will sit for few breathing practices at the end, right? So let's come to the third limb, which is asana. So yamas, niyamas, now asana, right? Asana, according to Patanjali, it means sitting posture, right? He has not commented on other postures like your Ashtanga Vinyas. These are quite modern approaches, right? So Patanjali has not commented on Hatha Yogic practices. He has not commented on anything. Okay, he has simply said, according to his understanding, according to the understanding that one is moving towards meditation, asana means sitting position only, right? And like any other asana, the longer you sit, the better you get at it, right? So if I'm like sitting with straight back and neck for say 10 minutes, tomorrow maybe 20 minutes, right? Like this, increasing my time, I will get better at it, right? The more I sit, the better I get, right? Like any other asana, if you want to do full split every day, you increase some practice every day, you do the repeat those previous practices as well, and one fine day you reach the perfection where full split is easily happening for you, right? So in that same way, right, sitting posture should be stable and comfortable. So Patanjali, he said, sthir sukham asanam, right? Sthir means stable, sukham means comfortable. Sit comfortably and stably. Whenever you're sitting for meditation, don't sit in a difficult posture, right? If, of course, you're falling asleep, you will have to sit in slightly uncomfortable posture, but you should always start with the sense of comfort. And the body should not keep moving, right? Right now, going like this, like that. Sometimes people, when they do meditation, forward, backward, their body moves. That means lack of stability. Right? Another very important quality of asana, it should be effortless. One thing is I'm sitting straight, putting in effort to sit straight. But after some time, when you deepen your practice, you will not require effort to sit straight, right? Perfection of asana means this only. Sitting straight without effort, with stability and comfort, right? So, sthir sukham asanam, right? Then he comes to pranayam, and in pranayam classes, I've deeply discussed the meaning of what pranayam is, right? And in the beginning, also, I told you, according to Patanjali, pranayam is what? Cessation of inhalation and exhalation, right? So Patanjali called pranayam cessation of inhalation and exhalation, right? Means the natural stage of retention, right? The natural state of retention, or you can say this state which we call kumbhak. This is what pranayama is according to Patanjali. It's not the normal hatha yogic practices that you are doing, right? Like Brahmari pranayam, like all the pranayams that we have learned, these are hatha yogic practices. These are not in Rajyog. That Rajyog's focus is meditation only, right? So, uh, according to Patanjali, this stage of retaining the breath, okay, that is what pranayama is, right? So now let's come to the next one, which is pratyahar. So the first four limbs, and in some places the first five limbs, they are the external practices, right? When I'm doing yamas, niyamas, asana, pranayama, these are mostly external practices. Fifth one can be considered a bridge between the external and the internal, because it is actually providing a bridge. When we withdraw the senses are turned outwards, and because we withdraw them, they turn inwards. So they have this fifth limb has the quality of both outward and inward, like quality, right? So in some places, the first five limbs are called external, last three are called internal, and other places, first four are called external, and then last four are called internal, right? So totally up to you, right? So fifth stage is pratyahar or withdrawal of senses. Pratyahara. Pratyahar. Okay, pratyahar is your withdrawal of senses, right? So once I do the first four practices, I develop so much within me that now I naturally gain control over my senses. Okay. So what I do, I give them direction now. Now I can give them only two directions. One is go experience the worldly objects, right? Derive all the pleasure or whatever pain you get out of the external object, and you experience that, right? But yogi, they're having very different target, very different aim. They want to understand themselves, right? So what they do, they tweak the direction of their, like, because when my senses, they are taking away some energy, right? When I look at something constantly, after some time I feel tired, right? So my energy is going outward, right? When I want to experience some sense object, suppose I just want to eat something, taste something, my energy is going outward, right? So I want to turn that inward, right? So what I do, because I've gained so much control, I will tweak the direction, turn this energy, all of this effort inward, right? To know inside me what is going on inside me, right? And that this bridging is what withdrawal of senses is. Once these senses are made to, if they are drawn inwards, they naturally follow the mind, right? So right now, what is happening? Senses are running out and the mind is following the senses, right? When I withdraw them, then the senses automatically begin to follow the mind. And what is the direction of my mind? I want to work on understanding my inner world, right? So directly they start following, right? After the stage of pratyahar, we come to the sixth stage, which is called dharana. DHARANA. You can write down concentration. So in your meditation classes, I'm sure that from pratyahar, you would have covered a lot of that in the introduction of meditation also, but I'm just describing these things briefly for you, right? For an understanding of Ashtanga Yoga, right? So now concentration is the first stage when it comes to your inward journey, right? So what happened? I did the external practices. I gained the stability of my mind and my body, right? And then I turned my senses inward, right? Now, when I turn them inward, I still need an object, otherwise, I will be lost, right? I need some support, right? I need some support in order to even begin to explore what is inside me, right? So, there is the introduction of an object for concentration, right? So, concentration is the stage where you are constantly trying to connect with the object that you have chosen, right? You choose an object when you turn inward, right? And trying to stay as connected with that object as possible, the connection breaks, right? So I use the word concentration, right? Where I'm constantly trying to concentrate on the object, right? It's like I am pouring water, right? And there is a gush of wind, right? So what happens? That water, the flow of water, it moves, right? Because of the wind, right? So concentration is something like that. You will have to put in effort. So suppose you close your eyes, you start focusing on your breathing, right? You want breathing to be your object, your breath is the object, and you want to just focus on it. When you close the eyes, you focus on the breathing. After a few seconds, what happens? Your mind runs away, right? Some thought catches your attention and you run away, right? So then you have to bring it back with effort. You have to tell it, no, you stay on the breathing. Right? Again, some thought comes up, again it goes away. So dharana is the stage which will break again and again, right? Which will waver again and again. You will have to put an effort to bring yourself back to the object, right? Now this dharana turns into dhyan on its own, right? So many people they sit, they want to do meditation, right? Dhyan is meditation. DHYANA. Dhyan, meditation, right? So dharana on its own turns into dhyan. Nobody can force this stage. I cannot say that today I'm sitting, I want to do meditation, right? In fact, the day you want to do meditation, the day you want that stage to come very badly to you, that they. Why? Because meditation is something that happens. It's never forced. It's an effortless process. So the more concentration you develop, the more you work on development of concentration, the easier it becomes for you to transition into meditation. Right? Meditation is an effortless process. Now it's like pouring oil from above. So the oil is getting poured down, and when the gush of wind comes in, the flow of the oil never breaks. Right? If you observe this thing, oil has this quality. Even if there is a gush of wind, it the oil will never break. The water will still have some breaks, right? Because of it, but oil will flow in the you know um, flow in one way, keep flowing, right? And that is what meditation is, right? Again, the you reach meditation from concentration. Okay? Now you are having the knowledge of your object effortless. Earlier there was effort, now there is no, right? And then you move towards the final stage, which is absorption or samadhi. So Samadhi, samadhi. So it's called absorption. Right? So from dharana you move to dhyan. From dhyan you move to samadhi. So now what is happening? Absorption is taking place. So what are you doing when you are doing meditation? You are moving towards absorption. Right? So these happen one by one. Right? So after the first, the second one happens. After the second one, third one happens. Right? None of it can be forced. Okay, this thing should be clear. And sometimes what will happen, you will sit. First, you will struggle with concentration, then it will turn into meditation, and then it will turn into absorption. And then again, that absorption will break and you will come back to concentration. So that is also okay. Right? Sometimes it happens that these three flow together and then they are broken. And then they flow together, then they are broken. Because absorption or samadhi is not your final stage. Okay? So even though in the 8 limbs seems that samadhi is the final goal, and yes, it is, but samadhi is also of different types. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So final stage it's samadhi, right? And samadhi is absorption. And like I said, there are different stages of samadhi. So the final stage of samadhi, I told in previous classes, also it's called Kaivalya. Kaivalya, Kaivalya, right? So Kaivalya is the ultimate liberation, right? Where one is free from the sufferings. But samadhi has different stages, and you can come back from samadhi also. Like I said, sometimes we sit, we do dharana, dhyan, then we go into samadhi, then we come back to concentration, then meditation, then absorption. Right? So there are different types of samadhi also. Some samadhis you come back from, and after a particular time, you don't come back from the stage of samadhi, you move ahead of it, right? And final stage is ultimate liberation, right? So when you touch samadhi, it doesn't mean you are fully liberated, ultimately liberated, right? But final stage of samadhi, yes, you are free from all these sufferings. You can be sure of this, right? So like this, the 8 limbs are designed so that the beginner Raj Yogi, right? Somebody who's practicing Raj Yoga at the beginning level, they can go from one step to the other, to the other, to the other, moving up and advancing in a very systematic manner, right? If pranayam is the first thing, then an asana is the 7th, 8th thing, then it's mix up mash, right? First, you need to work on one each thing, and then you reach the final goal. So don't jump. Okay, don't directly go into asana. If you are taking the approach of Raj Yoga, don't go in asana directly, right? First practice yamas, then niyamas, then asana, right? If you're going for Hatha Yoga, then go for asana first. Completely fine, right? But Raj Yoga is viewing the chronology of things in such a way where first yamas and niyamas have to come, right? Okay. So these are the 8 limbs, and this is how you go through the entire practice. Let's go for a brief session of pranayama. We don't have a lot of time left, but we can definitely take out some time for some deep breathing and anulom vilom. And let's see if we have more time. We will try to explore more practices as well, right? So wherever you are, sit comfortably. Keep your back and neck straight and very gently close your eyes. Close the eyes, sit comfortably, and just start observing your breath. Watch the breath as it flows in. Slowly shift your attention to your body, keeping the back and neck straight. Align and adjust yourself. Now come back to your breathing again and slowly begin to deepen your. Deep and full breaths in. Deep and full breaths. We're going to begin with the first practice. We're going to go for some abdominal breathing. As you exhale, just allow all the air to move out, contract your abdomen. Now we will begin with the first round. Take a deep inhalation and expand your abdomen. A deep exhalation, contract your abdomen. Try to keep your inhalations and exhalations equal and continue your practice. Follow your breath. Deep inhalations, tummy out. Deep exhalations, tummy in. After your next exhalation, suspend your practice. Keeping the back and neck straight, simply observe the natural flow of your breathing and see the changes that have come in as you deepen your breath. We are going to begin with the next practice. So with your right hand, form the preferable mudra. Exhale completely. Now close the right nostril. Begin to inhale through the left. Once you inhale fully, close the left nostril, open the right nostril and exhale. Once you exhale, take a deep breath in from the right side. And then close the right nostril, open the left nostril, exhale. This is one round. Continue your practice like this. Start by inhaling and exhaling through the left side only. Just continue with your practice. Feel each and every breath as you alternate between your nostrils. After next exhalation from the left nostril, completely suspend your practice. Relax your hand. Observe the balancing and calming impact of Anulom Vilom. Sense of stillness. We are going to close today's session by chanting Om one time, followed by Sri Shanti. So keep your back and neck straight with a deep inhalation for Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Feel the vibrations. Join the palms together and gently bow. We're going to begin to rub both the palms together. So rub your palms together. Place on your eyes. Rub the palms together. Place them on your eyes, your face, and neck. Put the energy on your body. While looking down and thinking, open up your eyes. Do Shanti to everyone. So this is the end of your course for this month. So guys, all the best. The entire HY team wishes you all the good luck, the best of things that you want. May you achieve those, and always keep practicing you, and enjoy your pre-recorded videos as well. So take care guys. See you next month from second. Enjoy and bye-bye.